can't sell a product without first making people feel bad.
Well, why not?
Because it's a substitution game. You have to remind them that they're missing something from their lives. Everyone's missing something, right? And when they're feeling sufficiently incomplete, you convince them that your product is the only thing that can fill the void.
F conventions. I just can't get over this. Gen Con 2023, exemplifying the worst of the hobby as a nutshell. Why? Why do I think it's worse than even crowdfunding nowadays? Let's talk. I'm pissed. I'm ramped up. You know it's going to be a rant. I got the Diet Coke sitting. Let's do it. So why am I so ramped up? Gen Con's going on right now. I thought we were actually getting away from this. Slightly even pre-pandemic. But pandemic, I thought, whoa, we can actually make some headway into this ubiquitous consumerism that is just swallowing our hobby as a whole, right? Nope, just kidding. I try to temper my stuff, right? I try to temper it on crowdfunding. I try to temper it on retail. I try to temper it around the conventions, right? Because it's easy content to put out convention videos. And you saw me put out 2 convention videos, but a very, very big disclaimer. Don't buy stuff from the conventions as much as you can afford not to. At the same time, we're less than 2 days into Gen Con at the time of me filming this, and all I see on social media is, look what I bought! Look at the $400 I just spent on this one game that's not even going to be in my collection 6 months from now. Whether that's Last Light, the crowdfunding game coming out in the near future, or Disney's Lorcana. Holy crap! Holy forking crap! I am this close to swearing in the video on this channel for the first time. Did you see that? Disney's Lorcana, they were letting people line up overnight, people. You could start at 6 p.m. There's something wrong with the hobby if people are doing that. Why is that a problem? Well, let me show you real quick, right? Day 2 hasn't even ended at Gen Con at the time of me filming this. Oh, already on eBay. What's on eBay? Star Wars Unlimited. This game isn't even coming out for like a forking year. And oh look, you can already buy the Gen Con promos, scalpers. Oh, that's great. Oh, does that remind you of anything from last year? Oh yeah, we saw it happen with Lorcana. Oh, people are selling individual forking foils. Again, I'm really trying to restrain myself here. Individual foils, because people were buying this at the boatload ad nauseum. And I can't necessarily blame some of them, but look at this. This is individual scalping ridiculousness. $35 forking dollars. I am really worked up. I'm sorry. Deep breath. Oh, Simon doing the same thing. Simon put out a Mr. Sinister Hero promo pack as well, selling it for $80. Well, maybe 20 if you're lucky, if you're getting a bid in, but realistically a lot more than that. And why am I so pissed? Well, this is the same crowd that endorses promos, endorses the convention scene mentality that goes absolutely against the crowdfunding exclusives, right? Like, this hobby as a whole has gone, one pendulum to the other. There's always been this loud, audible, squeaky wheel portion of the community that just pisses me off, saying exclusives are horrible. Well, I'll have you go right here. This is worse than exclusives. I don't care. There's a more limited quantity of any of those things that I just showed you, than there is for exclusives. At least if exclusives, you can pledge for it. Anybody can go on the internets and click there with your little trolling browsers and get a copy if you want at that time, right? Gen Con. Do you think any of these 3 companies are going to put any of this elsewhere at any point? Unless you spent a couple $1,000s to go there, you're not going to be able to ever get these. Unless you want to pay, an arm and a leg. And that pisses me off. It should piss you off too. It should piss you off incredibly. Because unless people start getting really upset about this, unless people actually do something about it with their mouths and their wallets, nothing is going to change. Going back to what I said though, I try to roll it in, to rein it in a little bit, right? I specifically said on my videos, I'm not telling you to go buy these things. These are the games that I want you to know about, that you can investigate, that you can learn about, but not go there and FOMO freaking buy. because that's the thing that happens. Again, this is the Friday night of Gen Con at the time of me filming this. I guarantee, LA night style, that we are going to see social media tomorrow. I am going to pull it up, and it is going to be blasted chock full. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Board Game Geek, whatever else you use. Look at all my loot. Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like, I saw people posting, they had all of the Lorcana stuff. Couldn't have been under $300-400. All of the Last Light stuff, $350. What all the other things you're not seeing? Like everything is going to be marked up. Everything is marked up, even just in the individual stuff. Like, consumerism gone rogue, incredibly rogue. And it's a horrible thing when it's on crowdfunding. Oh, you spent how much on the zombie? You spent $100 on the core of a zombie side? Do you even know anything about these games? You go there and you know that this is a hot release. I guarantee you half the games that people are buying in these things aren't going to be in their collection in 6 months. They don't know anything about the rules. They haven't seen a playthrough. They haven't read any reviews. You know, at least with crowdfunding, you know, I'm not going to say crowdfunding is perfect. It's not. But you get more information on that than any of the other stuff. Man, I'm parched. I need a drink. But why do we allow it? Well, to be frank, again, even on my side of things, right? This is the meet it or greet it style of things. You know how many emails I've gotten the week or two leading up to this saying, hey, you jump into Gen Con? No, I can't go to Gen Con. I have a family and a full-time job, and I can't afford to take time off of it and bring my 3 kids there for them to do nothing. And I'm not, you know, able to leave and just go by myself because I have responsibilities here. So do you have anything for me if I can't go to the convention? Absolutely not. And I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do with that from my side, right? Like, there are some, no, granted, there are some, and it's just like true on the other side of things. There are some that aren't putting out stuff that aren't going to be available widely later, or they're going to give promos, but maybe they're going to sell them in their web shop. But those are few and far between, folks. They are. Are you like me? Do you care about this? Is this a big deal? Because now that people are seeing that there's some momentum behind it, that they can gain some hype from it, they're playing into it more. Now, granted, again, this is one of the biggest conventions of the year, but for me, a convention isn't about that sort of thing. Convention for me is getting together with people, playing things, learning new things, not trying to keep up with the FOMOs, not trying to keep up with that stuff. And it's painful, you know, no lie. I'm jealous. Like, this partially comes out of jealousy. I can't tell you that it doesn't. Because like I said, I get those emails and they're like, hey, we're going to give swag bags of our upcoming stuff. We're going to tell you about all of the 4 projects that we have coming up in the next year. And if you want to know about them, you're going to have to physically be here. You know? And that is, you know, what do you do with that? Because again, even on my side of things, there's always this trying to grasp at things, trying to keep up with things, and I just can't. All the time people are clamoring for more diversity. I want more opinions. I want more people that I can go to get information from. But unless you can afford to do these things at the same time, and, you know, some do, and, you know, a lot of these channels are, you know, couples or groups or people that do it full time. And that's awesome if you can, but if you can't, well, it's always just one step behind keeping up with the Joneses. And that doesn't help the industry as a whole either, right? The other reason I hate this is going back to what I said, right? Like, crowdfunding, I have really curtailed what I back, right? Not just because I get review copies as a person doing this, but because I look at myself and I go, this is what's wrong with the hobby. We're being way too not selective in terms of what we're getting. You see all the time people online being like, well, here you go. Here's a $10 price game. Here's a $15 price game. And they're buying it because they can, because it's a good forking deal. Every single time I do a crowdfunding roundup, I say, it's not a good deal if it's not going to actually stay and be something you love. Every single time I do a crowdfunding roundup, it's not going to be a good deal just because you save some money. You're still paying more than if you didn't get it in the first place. If you buy a copy of Pandemic Legacy 1206, whatever it is, right? and you don't have a group to play it with, it doesn't matter if you bought it for $20 or $30 or $5. You just wasted money. That's the truth of it, and it hurts. That in a microcosm is this convention system, where publishers know that if they bring a small select portion of copies, they can drum up business. They can charge an arm and a leg for it. Supply and demand, capitalism at work, and make some waves. And, you know, again, nothing against the publisher making some money. But I just think it is FOMO of a different variety. But somehow our hobby inside this box has said, hey, this kind of FOMO is okay. Oh, the FOMO outside of this box, though, that's evil. You can't have that. You can't do that. Kickstarter exclusives. Oh, you know what I'm saying. Look, I don't care. Pick and choose, right? Pick which one you want. But the hypocrisy of it is really what pisses me off. You know, especially when I got into this hobby, you know, it was a big thing. Promos were a big thing. Exclusives were a big thing on this side of things. And now we're seeing a resurgence of it. And it's something that I absolutely, in case you can't tell by this video, hate. What I don't see these companies doing, you know, like you see on crowdfunding, right, all the time, or like you see with newsletters. Hey, you came to our booth. Let's give you $5 off of your next retail purchase of a game of ours on the web shop. Let's give you a Kickstarter backer discount for being involved and coming to our booth and interacting, right? Where's something like that? Because then, okay, you know, you're spending the money, you're spending the time, you're spending the effort, and yeah, you can get rewarded like that. But from a gameplay standpoint, content-wise, doesn't sit nearly as well. And maybe I'm just talking completely crazy birds here, right? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
But maybe I am. You know? Are other people actually saying anything in this regard? The blatant consumerism, the must-buy games of this month, followed by the must-buy games of that month, followed by the must-buy games of this month, followed by the must-buy of every, you know, like I just see that more and more. And we kind of like being told what to buy, but there's a line of saying, hey, these are ones that should catch your eye, and these are ones you should buy. Like, that goes over the line for me personally, you know, unless it's a very, very personal recommendation in like an individual review saying, this is a game I absolutely love. If you love this, get it. But not just a buy. So, and I guess maybe, again, I'm taking crazy pills because otherwise, how is the industry going to stay solvent, right? We're in the golden age of board games. Don't let anyone fool you. It's not going away if you got rid of some of this stuff. It's not going to have issues. This bubble is not bursting anytime soon. But at the same time, just because it's not bursting, just because, you know, it's not doom and gloom, doesn't say we can't change things for the better for everyone. Because also, social media is the problem here too. It exemplifies, it normalizes, it projects that this is what you need to be doing to be happy, to be successful. And it just makes that problem worse. And these exclusives, these extras, these promos, these eBay sellers extraordinaire, just, it's like spitting in your face. So obviously, as you can tell, it grinds my gears. But I needed to get this out. So you guys are my therapeutic release at this point. And that's kind of why you tune into the channel in the first place, right? To see angry man shouting at the clouds from his lawn. Whatever. You know what? Every industry has their issues, and this one has just the same as others, just in different ways. That's what I got. Whew. Cooled off, steamed off. Time to go film a review. Thanks for watching. Stay classy, he says at the end of a completely, utterly enraged rant video. Peace out. See you around. You know what you subscribed for. This is what you like. It's fun to do.